Freak Nation, he's back with the Freaks. Jesse Love, of course, now in the playoffs for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. And Jesse, a lot of drivers who've been in the playoffs many, many years, many times, say they race differently in the playoffs. You've never raced in the playoffs for the Xfinity Series. So have you guys talked about racing any differently now that you're in the playoffs?
Well, I got here doing one thing, so I don't know why I would want to switch it up now that I'm here. Is my whole thought process. I mean, I think, do you take it round to round? Yeah, probably. I feel like right now I'm in a spot where I have a lot of confidence on my side and feel like I don't have to think about it too much. And overall, things are pretty good. I got really fast cars. Everybody at RCR is doing a good job, and Dane's bringing fast cars to the racetrack and makes my job easier. So I think all in all, my main thought process is this first round, not make any mistakes, keep ourselves in it. I think if we just kind of do our deal, we'll kind of breeze through the first round, knock on wood. But the second round, for the round of 8, it's going to be a little bit tougher, and I'm going to have to maybe have some things go our way, of course. But at the same time, if I can win one of these races in the first round, pads that cushion in the round of 8, and then in the round of 8, obviously just need to make it happen and have good results. And I think if we maximize the day every single time we go to the racetrack, that we have a really good shot at going to Phoenix. And obviously, I think if we go to Phoenix, that we are as capable as anybody of winning the championship.
I got to ask, Jesse Love on the pole at Atlanta, how many times today in this media scrum have you said that exact thing that you just said to us?
Yeah, a good bit. It's maybe it's not like a broken record, but I feel like my head's screwed on pretty straight right now, and kind of know what I am thinking, and I know what I need to think. So I haven't really had to bounce back and forth between thought process a whole lot in the last month.
I want to piggyback on that. You've already talked about confidence. You've talked about how you're in a good place. You feel like you and the team are in a good place. I will never forget seeing you on the grid pre-race at Martinsville this past spring. And wow, were you relaxed. I believe you were singing some music to yourself and just having fun with the PA. I don't think I've ever seen a driver in his rookie season that relaxed partway through the season. What is it about your approach to racing that just seems, again, it seems simple, but it translates to good stuff out on the track?
Yeah, I think it's a good point. I feel like if I stress out about it, it doesn't do me any favors, right? So at the same time, again, I don't feel like I ever race for myself. There's a lot more to race for than my own, self-pride. So I feel like when you take yourself out of the equation, it takes a lot of stress off your shoulders. And that's kind of been my thought process this whole time. And even the playoffs, again, I want to win. And it would be great for my own confidence and brand and this and that and the other thing and how good it make me feel. But I feel like what makes me, when I sit back and kind of reflect on why I would feel good about it, it's because there's a lot of people at RCR that I want to make proud, and there's a lot of people that deserve it, right? So, you look at the car chiefs, and the crew chiefs get, Danny Stockman gets pretty wound up, right? But you look at, most people on pit road, they want to win, but they're not sitting there so stressed out and tensed up, right? Because they're part of the team. And I feel like when I see drivers that are super stressed out and it's about me, I feel like you're sometimes racing for the wrong reason, right? So my main thing is to just, again, race for more than myself. And when I feel like I'm doing that, I'm not so amped up and stressed out. And I feel like it helps me make, calmer decisions on the racetrack and off the racetrack after the race. But yeah, that's my main reason where I think the, calmness comes from.
Jesse, you seem so wise beyond your years. You are older spiritually and mentally than you are physically, it seems like, because your answers to questions are more sophisticated than, again, I'm going to go back to a rookie Xfinity driver. Does that come from your dad? Does that come from somebody else in your family with prior racing experience? Or is that just plain who you are?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think it's who I am. I feel like I was raised a certain way, and my dad, all the life lessons are quotes, right? And lessons learned and things like that, right? So maybe I think a little bit like that because of that. But no, at the same time, I do a lot of, I feel like at this level, right, where it's so second nature to do what we do on the racetrack, right? We can all drive a car really fast, and I feel like you have to find an edge somewhere else in a sense. And I feel like where I find that edge is kind of upstairs in my thought process, and not everybody sees the other side of me where I do get stressed out over certain things, and I can be down the dumps and have the ebbs and flows of my emotions, and I'm still really human, right? But at the same time, I'm really lucky right now going into the playoffs where I'm in a really good headspace and feel really confident in my team, and I'm in a good mood, and all that stuff's going well. And did I hit a few months there where I wasn't in the best mood and things weren't like that? Absolutely. But I feel like I, put a lot of pressure on myself to pull myself out of that slump so I can go in these playoffs and, have a clearer mind.
Jesse Love of Shane Van Gisbergen, highly decorated driver from across the water. Do you learn anything from chasing him down? Do you find any weakness in his game? How do you figure out to catch him in these playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, elephant in the room, like, there's 6 weeks a year where he's the guy to beat. And other than that, I don't race against him a whole lot. He did a phenomenal job at Darlington. He really maximized his car potential there, and that was a big step forward for him. And I actually we both ran to the top 10 most of the day and raced against him a lot, and he did a really good job there. But other than that, I mean, obviously on the road courses, we've had a few battles this year, and, Chicago and Sonoma racing for the lead there and racing for the win at Chicago. Definitely learn a good bit from him. It's more so just the way he's able to maneuver around the road courses, right? And his technique is really perfected. So that's something that realistically I'm probably a year and a half to 2 years away from getting to that point on a road course. I still feel like there's times where I can outdrive him in certain road course situations, but for the most part, and he'd be the first to say it, he's the most perfected in that craft, right? So I commented on it with, Connor winning Watkins Glen and Shane, kind of people like Connor and Shane that are really good at road courses. What they do is they level everybody up, right? Because we all want to get to that point. And when you have somebody come in and like just blitz the field and they're up here and everybody else is like 2 steps behind them, it is a kick in the gut, but at the same time, it pushes us to be better. And obviously, we're all going to get to that point eventually, right? There's always going to be guys that are better on road courses than others. But I feel like just the fact that he's run the way he's running, him and Connor, makes everybody else kind of step up to a new level, right? We're all really competitive, and we're all going to find a way. Well, there is a will, there's a way. So I feel like I'm working really hard on that right now to get to that point, because those are 6 races in the year where those are huge opportunities for points. And the guys that are going to get to that SVG Connor level the fastest are going to have a lot easier every year.
On the other side of that coin, Jesse Love, what do you bring to the battle in the ovals that maybe he can't match?
It's kind of one of those deals where all he's done his whole life is road racing, right? And all I've done my whole life is oval racing. So what we see on the road course is what he sees on the oval. And obviously he has a lot more races throughout the year to work on his craft to get to that level. And it's going to take the oval guys a little bit longer to get there because he has more opportunities to learn on the oval than we do on the road courses. I think that, again, it's just ability, right? To do certain things with the car on an oval. Again, we're chasing hundredths, right? On a road course right now to get to that level, we're chasing tenths of a second, right? So there's just a lot of ways that I can gain 100th here and 100th there, or 1,000th here and 1,000th there. That obviously adds up, and then the racecraft portion of it as well. But yeah, I think that it's kind of just really natural, right? That he's really good on the road courses, and we're better on the ovals. But like he's going to get better on the ovals, we're going to get better on the road courses as well. I'm kind of speaking on behalf of the non-SVG and Connor Zillages of the world and AJ Allmendingers, right? We're going to get to that level just like he's going to get to our level eventually as well, because he has a lot of talent and he's very good at what he does.
Jesse Love joining us here in the Freak Nation playoff pilot for the Xfinity Series. And Jesse, you mentioned early on in your tenure with Richard Childress Racing that you had some good conversations with Kyle Busch pointing out some things for you. You still talking to him going into the playoffs?
Yeah, that's one phone call I want to make before I start my playoff tenure here. Just to get a nugget or two, give me one or two things to think about during these playoffs that'll help my chances, right? It's all mindset, I feel like, at this point. And I feel like 80% of the sport is what's going on upstairs in your head. So, that's somebody that I'm going to lean on quite a bit. Obviously, it's hard to lean on Austin Hill right now because he's trying to go to championship 4, right? Just like I'm doing, right? So he's still selfless enough to want to, help me. And if I have a question for Austin, he's always going to answer it. But also with AD and Kyle, those are two guys that I can lean on that have won championships in the top 3 levels in NASCAR. And I feel like I can lean on them a lot. So for the mindset side of things, so I'm not really caught off guard. I want to talk to them and kind of get their 2 cents on a lot of things.
Okay, teammates aside, RCR teammates aside, I've heard you in past interviews reference how some of your idols were Tony Stewart, AJ Foyt, Jeff Gordon. Your dad raced with Jeff Gordon, so you've got a little bit of an awareness there. You have one phone call, not your teammates. Who would you really want that one phone call of great advice to be from?
Yeah, that's a tough question, right? Everybody has something to offer. My first time at Phoenix, I did talk to Jeff Gordon before that race just to give me a few things to work on. We're obviously able to go in the championship that day, and but there's a ton of people, and it might not even be a driver. It might be a team owner or somebody that has won these championships, because it's not, hey, how do I go fast here? How do I go fast there? It's more so, how do I manage this whole deal? So my number one phone call for the start of the playoffs is my crew chief, right? Somebody that's won championships before, somebody that's been in the playoffs before, that's lost it in tight situations, that's won it in tight situations, right? The more that I feel like I can lean on the people that see from a bird's eye view the whole situation of the playoffs, the better it is for me. And I feel like that's going to help me more than any advice that a driver can give me on how to go fast at Homestead, how to go fast here. I feel like at this level, to make it all the way and have at least a chance to fight for the championship, it's about more than, I guess, the technique. It's about, I feel like, the mindset of how to get to Phoenix.
Wow.
I'm telling you, this guy's got it. He's got it.
Stats thinking the same thing.
Jesse Love, give me one thing that they've told you, just one, that you could share and not give away any secrets to help make this journey a little more knowable.
Yeah, it's all about what Danny Stockman tells me every weekend, right? Maximize the day. It was something that I, learned about a year and a half ago from Billy Venturini, which is not focusing on, the wins, right? Not focusing on the results. I'm not going to go in the playoffs and just think about the championship the whole time, or I got to win here, I got to win there. It's all about what Danny tells me every weekend. Go maximize the day. Don't overdo it, right? If we go and do what we need to do and we maximize our day, I feel like we're going to make it to Phoenix, right? And I feel like we have a lot of confidence in our team, because if we just maximize the day, I still think we can get there without having to do some crazy stuff. We'll obviously, keep the crazy stuff for Phoenix when the Game 7 moment, time comes, right? Or maybe in Martinsville or something like that. And there's times and places for it, but it's not every weekend.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Jesse Love joining us here in the Freak Nation again. Playoff pilot for RCR Xfinity Series. Buddy, it's always nice when you roll in here in the Freak Nation. We wouldn't hate it if you go out and win, get you back in here.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
You take car maintenance seriously, and you want to pass on that legacy of care. Use Lucas Heavy Duty Oil Stabilizer to shield your engine from excessive heat, debris, and friction. Trust Lucas Oil. It works.
Rev up your passion for speed. MAV TV Go is the ultimate streaming app for race fans.
Oh, man!
MAV TV Go, your global home of motorsports. Now on the go. Download the app now.
Freak Nation, make your plans now to get yourself a new set of General tires. And if you buy 4 qualifying SUV or light truck tires, you'll get up to $100 back with a Visa prepaid card. Fall's here. Winter's coming. Wet weather. You want to make sure you're on a new set of General tires. For more information, check it out at GeneralTire.com. That's GeneralTire.com. General Tire. the official tire of Speed Freaks for over 2 decades.
Just when you thought the racing couldn't get any more intense, the 2025 NASCAR Cup Series Championship Playoffs are coming. Sunday, September 7th, 2025. Go to WWTRaceway.com.